Our next speaker, Saebyoul Yun. So she's a PhD candidate in politics and international relations at the University of Edinburgh. She studies policies, governance, and ethical problems of digital surveillance. So thank you. Let's just welcome. Thank you.
Thank you for the introduction. And the title of today's presentation is A Critical Review of the Trial Using of Digital Identity in South Korea. And the aim of this presentation is to share research ideas associated with digital ID with all of you. Before sharing the ideas, I will introduce background, the Korean context, and two interesting cases of the trial use of digital ID in South Korea. Sorry. And this is brief background. Globally, several governments have developed digital IDs, and these are examples. And in the case of Estonia, the government introduced electronic ID card in 2002 and a mobile ID in 2017. China and Germany also introduced a mobile ID in 2018 and 2020. However, the rate of using it is relatively low due to several reasons, including the IT infrastructures and privacy concerns. However, as we know, through COVID-19, many things have been changed in societies, and I believe that one of the main changes is digitalization. So it has become normalized for the public to show their status with digitalized certificate, such as QR code. And these are screenshots of vaccine pass in several countries, and around 140 countries have implemented digital vaccine certificates during COVID-19. And in this context, technological development and investment in introducing an integrated digital ID, I mean integrate various certificates and insert them onto a mobile, have been accelerated in many countries. So I'm going to introduce two cases in South Korea. And first one is digital ID for governmental officials. And this is the main page of official website for introducing it. And in December 2020, the government introduced digital ID in governmental officers' management with the intention to expand the technology to most certificates in the countries. And currently, government officers can use both previous one, plastic card, and the new one, the mobile one. And the Ministry of the Interior and Safety and LG CNS, the private company, have developed together this system, and they explain this is a decentralized identifier, and it offers self-serving identity to users. And I just found the name of below, so that means that Institute boasts very high quality screen. And the government officers can use it as their identification and digital keys for getting into several governmental buildings. And also they can sign in or log in with governmental websites. And the second one is mobile driver's license. In January 2022, the government began issuing mobile driver's license, but only 2 regions issued it. However, since July 2022, all regions, the public can create and use a mobile driver's license in any region in South Korea, and this is a main page of website for promoting mobile driver's license. And as you can see, there is a photo, a name, sorry, it's in Korean, and the user can create their personal QR code, the menu below, so like that. And then the public can use it in many places, such as community centers, banks, and convenience stores. So if the others want to buy alcohol at convenience store, they can create their personal QR code and then they show it and they can prove their age and eligibility. And this includes lots of information, not only license number, photo, and data issue, but also address, social number, and the consent of organ donation. And the government and the Ministry of the Interior and Safety have promoted digital ID through governmental documents and social network services or YouTube channel. And these are the YouTube videos on their channel, and I have watched all of videos, and I found that they only highlighted positive side and good things and advantages of the digital ID, such as safety, security, convenience, and self-surveillance identity. But I believe that the period of trial use is significantly important to figure out the emerging ethical issues or problems. Uh, I think that is yeah. So in order to compare other social issues, I use a website named Be Kind in South Korea. It offers over 50 media outlets, news articles, and the result of big data analysis. So I put keywords digital ID into that website, and I got the result of big data analysis, and this is word cloud. And I found that most words were just a simple name or just name of technology, such as blockchain and QR code. And the biggest one is just mobile driver's license. And just one word, personal information, linked with kind of ethical issues, something, but it was still just personal information. And I put another keyword, low fertility, because this issue has discussed a lot in Korean society, and I got lots of words related to the problems and emerging issues, such as aging and aging society, the population, and employment problems, etc. So I believe that it implies we need more discourses and discussions in the society associated with digital ID. So I would like to share research ideas, and I have read lots of books and articles related to the digital ID, and I found that the most existing studies on digital ID in South Korea have focused on developing technologies including DID, blockchain, or QR codes. And a few studies discussed ethical issues such as privacy and personal information, but they were written over 10 years ago. So I believe that we need to study more about these issues to scrutinize the problems and ethical issues like that. And I believe we need a multifaceted perspectives to approach this issue, including technological issues, regard problems, and ethical problems. For example, the government and experts have focused on and highlighted DID or blockchain perfectly secure and safe, but we should think about the development of the technology for hacking And also, many private companies are seeking to link their payment system with national digital ID, but we should think about the many accidents by the private companies, like related to the leaks of personal data and customers' data. So I would like to suggest two research questions. First one is what experiences people have had associated with using digital ID. Second one is which experiences have helped or disrupted the building trust when using a digital ID. And case studies and semi-structured interviews would be good way for answering these two questions. And also, I expect that practical and controversial issues would be obtained through the interviews, and I will be get the ideas or insights for building trust between the government and the public, and it will contribute to encouraging discourses and discussions in the society or sufficient preparation. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. I've lost my microphone. Thank you so much. That was really, really interesting. So we've got some questions. So what are some possible problems from the way these IDs have been adopted in South Korea? So have there been problems with the way these have been used?
I think that we can learn from the experiences during COVID-19, because I think that South Korea was one of the countries that have accepted strong surveillance technology during COVID-19. But there were lots of issues. For example, people who don't want to be vaccinated or impossible to be vaccinated due to their personal reasons, they just didn't get vaccine pass during for 6 or 7 months. So they didn't get into the cafe, restaurant, gyms, and they just were excluded many social activities, but there haven't been any solutions for them by the government. So I think the social sorting or discrimination can be the issues and problems when we use the digital ID, because I think that there would be definitely some people who don't want to use digital ID due to the kind of privacy concerns or other issues, or some people it's just impossible to access digitalized ID or technology, but it would be maybe problems about the digital ID, I believe.
Cool. And finally, if someone steals your ID and creates a digital identity with your info, can your identity be recovered?
I'm not an expert in technology, so I'm not sure whether I can give proper answers about this question. But I saw the explanations of the government. It's kind of a Q&A page on the official websites for introducing digital IDs for governmental officers. And the one question is about the exactly same with that one. If I lost my mobile phones or how to solve these problems like that, the government said that you can just call or contact the kind of technological office, and then they kind of stop the access of the mobile ID. But I think it is not that perfect answer or solution about it, because if the owners forget or don't realize they lost their phone, and then so they cannot contact the officers or someone who are related to it, then for hours or for a few days, it's just their ID is working here and there. So I think the government or relevant officials should prepare more secure solutions about it.
Cool. Thank you. And thank you so much for your talk. Yeah, thank you.